1, 2, 3, come on.
So, good morning, all the participants. The topic for my today's presentation is innovation, knowledge transfer, and commercialization in academic setups. Most of you are from academic background, or I think all of you are from academics. And this is some of my recent research which I am currently doing, which is around innovation management. And why I started it, considering the challenges which academics feel. I felt when I was I'm working as an academic. So just to give you a brief background about from where I come. So this is University of Bradford, a very small university. We are placed near London, near Leeds, around 200 miles north of London. I'm director for Center for Pharmaceutical Engineering Science, which is a small group, a team of people, which is interdisciplinary research center. It is across two institutions. When I started, this is Institute of Pharmaceutical Innovation that time, where our all pharmaceutical research takes place. And there is another one of leading center in the university, which is Interdisciplinary Research Center in Engineering, IRC in Polymer Engineering. So what we do is we bring fundamental science, we do good fundamental research in terms of materials, especially structure of materials, their performance and properties, try to understand that and how to improve those properties using different engineering processes. So IRC in polymer engineering brings polymer and processing expertise, whereas we bring pharmaceutical expertise, but now we have included chemistry, physics, all disciplines together, and we develop some, do some fundamental research and offer it to the industry. That is our main area, how the center works. What we do, we offer starting from pre-formulation, formulation development, process analytics to the industry. But apart from that, we invest our own resources. We conduct first analysis of the market. If we think that there is good market opportunity, we invest our own resources and develop some technologies which are further licensed to the industry, or opportunities to transfer the knowledge to the companies. So to start with, today, first thing which we need to understand is what is innovation management and why it is important. So higher education institutes, universities, colleges, our main objective has been always to generate high intellectual human resources, and today we have seen how KMK has done wonderful job in teaching and research and development of human resource. But at the same time, all over the world now universities have to demonstrate that how they are providing value to the society, impact to the society, because taxpayers are now asking and governments are the question that what happens when we invest so much of taxpayers' money. We are answerable and we need to demonstrate some return to the society. So for this, now universities are, and I think that is the thrust of one of the important part of new education policy, national education policy in India also. So for this, managing innovations, and there are innovations taking place. I have seen today patents have been filed, and across India now the number of patents which are being filed are more. But how much translation? There are challenges all academics are facing in translation of those to the companies or commercial level. And that is innovation management. Innovation management. So here is the definition of textbook definition of innovation management. What is innovation management? But really, the activities which are required to introduce something new or which is perceived to be new. It may not be totally new thing, but it may be perceived to be new. It may be considered as new by the customers to achieve impact. So this is the main thing where we face challenges, how we, and most of the academics fail in this. If we can manage innovation properly in the academic setups, our outcome or impact will be far, far better. To give you example, this is what I learned, or where I thought that I did not manage innovation properly. This is my publication in 2004 when I was working at Bharati Vidyapeeth. We developed curcumin. All of us know that curcumin is an active ingredient of turmeric, which is a magic material having activities starting from anti-inflammatory to anti-Alzheimer and many anti-cancer, all those things. And during my visit to one of the companies, Leila Impex, I realized that Leila Impex is one of the major exporter of curcumin from India, and it was in tons. Curcumin, India exports curcumin, and one of the challenge then I thought that it is I read was solubility, poor solubility, and all of us, most of us work on improving solubility of materials. So this was a good challenge. We did this improved solubility of curcumin, I think 8-10 times, and we published it. This was in 2004, the paper came out, and in 2005, a Japanese company approached us saying that, do you have patent on this? And I did not realize that there is any patentability. So this is the first challenge which we, or first fault in our work, that we many times academic do not understand where is commercial potential. What is there any protection required? And then the Japanese company was very impressed. They were very keen to have patent around this, and they they did some research, and they found that there is possibility in 1 year, if we can, even if it is published, it can be patented within 1 year. I did not know this. Company patented it for us. They paid everything for filing the PCT. Unfortunately, the product could not be commercialized because we used PVP. Company was in nutritional supplement area. They wanted to commercialize it in Japan, but PVP was not allowed in the as per the regulatory guidelines in Japan that time. Though it was allowed in pharmaceuticals, it was not allowed in nutraceutical. And again, I was very naive on this. I did not change quickly the formulation. The polymer, replacing polymer should not have been that difficult, but lack of understanding, lack of experience, and I missed this commercial opportunity. So innovation, what is innovative, need to be the first thing which an academic need to understand. So if I would have had a complete business understanding or commercial understanding, and which is not possible for every academic to have, and it is not expected to. But if there would have been a system in the university at national level, somewhere this support could have been present, this would have been avoided. But did I learn? I think not. Anything from that? In 2010, again, I published another paper on making direct water-soluble turmeric. So instead of, and this is what happened is the company CEO, she said to me, why are you solubilizing? Can you give me turmeric soluble? I said, no, but after 2, 3 years, 4 years, sometime I could make turmeric water soluble extract directly. And again, I made the same mistake, which most of the academics make. I published it. And now today, if you see, this is recent one. There are a number of products which came up, but this is current top selling or hot product in the UK, which is turmeric shots. Okay, so these are, I did not protect anything. I could have done something around this, but this is the mistake which I made. I learned something from that. Let us see, I will discuss it further. What happens if innovation is managed properly? This is what happens if innovation management is done. So Peter York, this is Professor Peter York, my guru and world-known scientist in the area of pharmaceutical, mainly particle engineering area. So Peter York was working, one of his PhD student was working on supercritical fluid technology, or rather inhalation. The project was given by GSK. And the objective was, can we make inhalation, better particles for inhalation? And the one in the middle was his PhD student, Hannah. So Hannah was working with Peter York, and what they did is they developed particle with supercritical fluid technology. Now, supercritical fluid technology was not new. It was there for years together and very commonly used in extraction of natural products. But Peter York used it for, and there were some references before that also in particle engineering, but he particularly used it to change the particle surface properties. And he started in 1994 a company called a spin-out called Bradford Particle Design. So Peter York filed a patent. He started a company in the School of Pharmacy. And in 2001, Bradford Particle Design was sold to Nectar Therapeutics for $220 million. This is one of the biggest commercial success, and everybody was benefited. University was benefited, inventors were benefited, and the region and overall. This shows why innovation management is necessary, and how good innovation management can lead to excellent success. And all of you might be recently dihydroergotamine mesylate is coming up in, or already is on the market for inhalation. This is produced by same technology. Really, when Nectar the technology was licensed out to Nectar, the main objective was to develop inhaled insulin, and I think it was tried also, but due to some limitations, commercialization limitations or scale-up limitations, it did not come. But there are many molecules now coming up using this technology. So whenever this is here, what we discussed is why managing innovation is essential. What are which mistakes we make? First, and the most important thing is we do not understand there is innovation and there is commercial potential in the innovation, and we make the mistake. So let us understand first what is innovation. So innovation is something new or perceived to be new. It may be a product, it may be a process, or it may be a new approach in marketing even, or new form of distribution. Now, what generally happens is whenever we have, and what is the main basis or core of innovation is creative thinking. We need to be creative. We need to generate ideas. And what happens is, to generate ideas, we need to have good. If we are doing an exercise to generate idea, what happens? We have a tendency, the people with similar skill set, knowledge, we discuss always and about our science or projects. And, for example, if we have to submit even a project proposal to AICTE or any funding agency, with all pharmaceutics people will come together, or research group meetings. We are pharmaceutics, pharmacology, and we do research in this manner. It is very similar rather than complementary. So complementarity in the group is one of the essential things. Interdisciplinarity, rather than doing, if we can have ideas which can be commercialized quickly, if we have some interdisciplinary team together. And at Center for Pharmaceutical Engineering Science, this is something which we try to do. So first thing we need to have for any innovation, to generate the idea, and to the idea which can be implemented or can be commercialized, it is better. For example, let us take a simple example of, we may think that, can I use this gum or this polymer as a binder, and I can do it control release tablet? We can think about that, but what are the processing challenges? If an engineer is sitting there, how we can extract the polymer from natural source, or how we can, what are the problems which may come up in granulation stage? All these things, if an engineer is sitting with us, a chemist is sitting with us, these things will become so interdisciplinary environment. Maintaining interdisciplinary environment in the academic institutions is most important. Unfortunately, many times due to our regulations, regulatory bodies, we lack bringing together in the small institution. But in India especially, and in most of the universities, there are other STEM groups. So for example, I have seen now you have at KMK under HSMC, the other institutions, engineering, or in Bombay University, we have approaches, you have opportunity to approach, and everywhere. So we need to interact. The first thing is interact with other disciplines, fundamental disciplines and applied disciplines, but that is required for successful commercialization. Innovations can be incremental. These are just, for example, incremental innovation. Existing product, it may be a generic, and I'm developing a control release product of that. Or it may be a totally new product or service in the existing market, or relatively easy to develop based on customer need. Anything, customer comes to us, and I will give you example of one of these, or it can be a breakthrough innovation. It can be a totally new medical device, or a crystal form, a new crystal form has been developed, or developed deep insight if it is required. It is difficult to develop generic, difficult to develop understanding has to be developed for this. And a concept which is applied in maybe nutritional market, transfer it to pharma or pharma to agriculture. So opening it to the adjacent markets. The concept may be similar, but it may a concept is already in use or has been used in the past, and we transfer it to the other market. And there are radical innovations. Radical innovations like something which is not existing at all, and we have developed it, like COVID vaccine, a completely new molecule which is showing excellent different activity, or new business model like Uber. So difficulty-wise, incremental to radical innovation, the complexity goes on increasing. Returns on investment are also different with these. And most of the time, we work in the first two. If we are a small organization or a small team, incremental or breakthrough innovation, generally, when you are working closely with industries, there are incremental innovations also. But one thing we have to remember, how much energy is required and how much return will I get in the incremental rather than going through breakthrough. Sometimes going to breakthrough may require slightly higher investment, little more time, but markets may be huge. And of course, radical innovations investment required is significantly high, especially if we are considering pharmaceuticals. So this is, we as an academic, we always struggle now. What we have reached up to this stage, I have developed a new molecule, I have developed a new dosage form, a new tablet, anything, technology. How will I translate it? How to go to the commercial? This is where struggle starts, and we need support. We need an ecosystem around us, which will help us hold our finger and take it to the commercial level. So typically, how is our life? How do we the journey from discovery to or innovation to commercialization takes place? This is a little crowded figure, but I'm not going to go in all details through this, but I'm going to show you this journey later on by example. So here we generally receive funding, and Professor Joshi has shown how excellent funding KMK has received and generated outcomes. So all of us, we get some contracts, grants, maybe private grants, maybe company funded projects, and we develop students, our research team, maybe postdocs and academics, we develop some innovation. And in India, where we lack, and in many institutions here also, is there is this ecosystem is absent. So TTO, Technology Transfer Office. So what should happen is we'll go to the Technology Transfer Office or Research Support Office or a commercialization group, whatever you call it as, and we disclose it. Then what happens? This team evaluates your invention or innovation, and they will find out whether really there is commercial potential. So here what we in Bradford, what we call it as a disclosure form. We disclose it. So when academic has to disclose that, you have to tell that, okay, I have developed this new tablet, control release tablet. What is its advantage? What is the novelty in this? And what do I think, which problems cannot be solved with the current technology, which I'm going to solve with my technology? The Technology Transfer Office evaluates it. Is their patentability? Is there any opportunity for how big is the market. For example, your innovation may be excellent, but there is no market for that at the moment. It is too, for example, curcumin. Now, if I will develop something now, there is less. When we go to the companies say, oh, curcumin is now out of, it is exhausted molecule. 10 years back, if I would have gone, there was appetite for this. Today, there may not be that appetite for curcumin to sell. So is it timely? Your innovation may be excellent, but is it timely innovation? Can we get the market? Is it relevant to the region? Sometimes it may be something may be excellent in India, may not be useful here. For example, research, what we do, if I start develop something for filariasis, treatment may be excellent treatment, but in the UK it is not useful. It may be in some country where filariasis is there, or any research in that sense which is not relevant, then university may be slightly hesitant to do file a patent because it is an expensive process to do. But now with the globalization and markets are accessible easily, this problem has gone down. But considering this, if we think from India's point of view, something which is available in India, the resources which are available, for example, biodiversity in India is it's different, and it is highly biodiverse region, which may not be available here. So you may develop something and which may be of use in the region. That is one of the important point which currently we have to take into consideration. That is, local research is innovations for local regions are important, and especially considering the strong background or legacy of Ayurveda and for pharmacy. That will be excellent thing, and I have seen that KMK is leading in herbal drug research, which is fantastic to see that. So now, whether university holds the title, it is the asset of the university. Whatever innovation we do becomes innovation. IP becomes IP, maybe patent, maybe copyright, trademark. Everything is owned by the university or the college because we are employed. This other part route, which is non-disclosure to university, does not exist in my opinion. If I'm going to do anything, I have to disclose it to the university unless I'm partly funded and it is not something which I have done it at the university, or it is not in my as per my job description to do any research or innovation, but which is very rare. I'm not going into that legal part here. So the spin-off can be started. Generally, the route to startup or spin-off is university will hold the invention and it will invest in the company, spin-out company, and then, or the most preferred route by the university is to license out the technology, and that is very easy, is the best part for academics also. License it out, let the commercial people, the companies take care of that, and we will focus on further research. So this is a general innovation, but now you can see how complex is the process, and it is not possible. We cannot expect academic to have all these things to do from start to end. This is one limitation. Unless we have support system, and for this technology transfer office or research and transfer office is one of the important things. Now, one aspect I recently came across this report from National Center for Universities and Businesses UK, and the recent data when I was checking, what you can see is in the universities, we think that we need to have more interaction with SMEs, in the SMEs, small and medium scale enterprises, which is essential. Without interaction with companies, it is not possible, and that is one of the success of KMK or any universities, which can be immediately seen. More is the interaction with companies, more is the opportunity or chance of success of commercialization. Here it was observed that interactions, after we have reached to the point where though interaction with university with SMEs have gone up, income is not growing to that level. Same way, and it is true for small scale industries or even large businesses. Interactions have gone up, but after a certain point, you will not see far more growth in the income. And this is something where you can start thinking that something is going wrong in the management. I have to manage innovation properly. Even licenses granted have grown from in last 5 to 10 years, but spin-outs have not gone up to the same level. So this is something. Investigations are required to that level, but I think most of the colleges at college level, we have not reached to that level. So it is okay. So the main thing is grow your interactions with companies. But apart from, and when this has been done, I thought that then what is exactly, what should be the case we should drive so that impact can be improved. So there are different factors which are going to affect. It is not only interaction with industry, it is individual. The most and important engagement which is affecting factor is the individual. Okay, how much attitude you have developed in your academics for innovation and commercialization. And like I showed the example, the first one, why I failed, because I did not have attitude. I was not thinking at all from commercial impact point of view. So immediately this is I think in 99.9% of academics, how our main urge is to disseminate knowledge. How can I publish? How quickly I can go and impress people and by presenting something really wow factor things, and which is required for our profile, which is required for our promotions, increments, everything, career progression point of view. So this is we tend to publish very quickly without thinking, and we do not and there are two types of errors we do, and this is also some I have observed very many times. We patent something where really there is no need for patenting, or there is no opportunity for that innovation to go ahead. First thing, it may not be really innovation. Second, or invention, and it does not have any potential to commercialize, and we do that. Second, there is huge potential, and so it is like alpha and beta errors, what we do. Second part is organizational factor. This is main point which all academic institutions have to take into consideration. It may be the universities, it may be, and slowly now with this India's thrust on Make in India, commercialization, innovation, startup, I think in next 10 years, the organizational factors will improve significantly. The organizational universities leadership, many times university leadership is not very entrepreneurial. And I think with people like Professor Mansukani and KMK's overall leadership in that area is very strong. And KMK has, I know, I have seen it for long time. This is one important part which is strong in the institution. We need to bring in technology transfer support. This is the most important part which need to be brought in. There should be some need to be some discipline, some policies that will encourage. In terms of institutional policies, the most important thing is what is incentive for academics to do that. Suppose if I come out with a patent, if I commercialize a patent, what is for me? That is the academics, which will so. For example, University of Bradford is very generous about it. Whatever commercial impact you will achieve, 50% of that goes to academics. If a company started on your patent, 50% outcome will go on to you. Any license fees, 50% will go to the patent team. So that becomes one important part to change the individual's attitude. So individual will think that, okay, let me do this, and objective is to retain entrepreneurial staff in the university rather than they going to the company. Yeah, so this is something, and not always the impact should not always be considered in commercial sense. It can be social impact of your innovation. Innovation does not mean that it has to be only this. For example, I was discussing with one of my ex-students. They started human milk bank. Now, human milk bank is not going to give. There will be some commercial gain, but rather than commercial, social impact is significantly higher. Environmental, and now the most important impact which we have to achieve is environmental impact. So this is something which we need to remember. I learned from the previous mistakes. To some extent, I learned, I will say. So when I came here in 2008, in 2009, company approached me, a very small company, and they are in natural product. They have a product which is, they call them epiceuticals, means anything from honeybees. So bee-based product. So honeybees prepare honey, generate honey, but along with honey, they generate a substance called propolis. Mainly Apis mellifera does that. What is propolis? Whenever so beehive is sterile in nature. Whenever there are cracks on the beehive, there are chances of infections to the larva, and to avoid this, or temperature in the hive is maintained. So as to do that, bees collect some resins from the plant, some antibacterial materials, some resins. They add their saliva to that, process it, and they generate a gummy material, a sticky material, with which they seal the hive cracks, and that is called as propolis. So propolis is a natural gummy material, resinous material. This is very useful as an immunomodulator. It is similar to curcumin. It is antibacterial, anti-inflammatory, anesthetic also. In mummification in Egypt, if you see, they coat it with propolis as an antibacterial, strong and antibacterial. So this is something propolis is. Propolis is not that popular in India or not used in India, or we do not find any references in Ayurveda also, because Apis mellifera is not natives of India. Now with commercialization, commercial beekeeping, honey production and other things, now Apis mellifera for last 20, 30 years, 40 years, it has come, has been brought to India, but otherwise it was not. That's why we do not do a lot of research on that. But now there are Central Bee Research Institute has started around this. So company came to me and said, this is, we have a client in Korea and they want propolis in the soluble form. Can you make it soluble? And really, that was good opportunity. And I was just, I had just started in Bradford. I didn't have many projects to work on that time, and I had taken this project with really very small amount of funding from government, only £3,000. I said I will generate some concept data with that. And I did prepare water soluble, but again they came back and said, but the Korean client is saying that they don't like the smell of propolis. Can you reduce, can you deodorize propolis? And then I developed a technology to deodorize it. While doing that, I had to remember that the company with which I was working is just 5 people's company, not very well resourced, and so the innovation, whatever you are going to do, should be translatable to that company. And we transferred it. The product started going to Korea. Then we developed next filed a patent, which was filed in 2011. It has granted. So on that, different products have been developed. The main important thing, instead of being a sticky material and water insoluble, now it has become water soluble, which allowed a simple gel formulation for mouth ulcer. And now we are developing some oral patches of these materials. So I learned at least something from my first mistakes, and I did not publish anything on propolis that time. So I said that you need strong innovation support, ecosystem around you, and this is something which I tried to, I'm lucky to get here now. So first, these are my colleagues who are from different, with different expertise, Dr. Vani Wangala. There are around 15, 20 academics work with me in the team, and they bring in different expertise, starting from computational, organic chemistry, process engineering, molecular biology, everything brought together. And my job is very simple, to bring everything together, understand the challenges, to bring a proper team. And to do that in the lab, I have a team of postdocs I maintain. It is an expensive part on my part, but now Sachin and Sudhir, Sachin Korde, Sudhir Pagre, they have recently left. They joined industry Bashir is still there. And I'm now recruiting the new postdocs. But apart from that, you need other support systems. So Dr. Jason Jones, I have a full-time commercial manager. So going to develop business, go to the companies, write proposals for companies, costing, monitoring. That is the job somebody has to do, and you need dedicated resource for that. And this is central university team which supports with these are the people from TTO, Technology Transfer Office, who where I have to go and submit my innovations, and they really grill you, ask you very hard questions, because at the end they are going to make the university investment decisions, whether university really would like to invest or not. Apart from that, there are government fundings you need to secure, because one important part to take the idea to the next level, you need funding. So some internal or there is some small university internal support which are provided which is provided to us to generate proof of feasibility or proof of concept data. In terms of technology readiness level, I will say it as technology readiness level 2 to 3. I will explain you what is technology readiness level in my next slides. There are some fundings which are locally available. For example, BMC, Bombay Municipal Corporation, should fund some research. Why they should fund research? Because more the innovation and research takes place in the at KMK and or in the colleges, universities in the region, more are the chances that companies will be formed in this region, and those will bring more tax revenue to the local. This model has to come. I have seen this model works very well in China. The local or state of Maharashtra will, and there will be competition between states, that which in our state or in our corporation region, our Jilla Parishad region, there are more innovations taking place. So that, and at the same time, there are national and international fundings available. Like in India, we have BIRAC grants, DST, AICT, so these can be used for commercial purposes. In the UK, this is something which I'm going to give you a brief idea. We have a funding called as IQR, which is for translation from university to commercialization. Translation, a small funding, which is 35,000 pounds. What is expected in this? They fund in this 3 months of postdoc's salary and 20,000 pounds for travel. Now in the recent climate, there is no travel is not allowed, but you will have an innovation. So I may say that I'm thinking of, I have generated an excellent water soluble curcumin. Does it have market? Where is the market? How big is the market? At least at the end of, so the postdoc should go to using 20,000 pounds, go to different countries, attend different conferences, rather than conferences, trade shows, meet commercial people, go to companies where really it can be used, and get some feedback, some understanding. He may go and he may come back and say that, yes, in pharmaceuticals or in nutraceutical now it is not of any use, but in veterinary market there is something which is required, and so that I can go to them. So that is proof of market also is achieved. and you can decide whether I should form a company or I should license out or I should kill this at this stage. This is not commercial, it is research only I should pursue on that. At Bradford, at center, we have different technologies, a self-gel technology, which is for medical device sector, fast act, which is for pharmaceutical and nutraceutical fast dissolving material, effervescent technology, Shield, which I'm going to discuss in detail little. This is abuse resistant technology, ARS. And what is objective of this grant or this type of exercise is to overcome the valley of death. There is valley of death, the research to commercialization. If we do not get proper support, your innovation is not going to be successful. We need some commercialization resources, and that gap is bridged by this type of funding. And if innovation, and that is the core part of innovation management. If you manage your innovation properly, you can avoid this your innovation is. So what we learn in these programs is the first question which we should ask ourselves is, what is my value proposition? What value my innovation is going to bring? If I'm going to say that, oh, I have developed water soluble curcumin, what is in as an elevator pitch, what I'm going to say in 2 minutes, what exactly I'm offering by making it. Who are the key partners I will require for commercializing this? What are the activities I have to conduct? What are the key resources which are available with me currently? Where are my customers? How can I reach to the customers? How will be my business model? For am I going to sell it as a powder, tablet, capsule, whatever? And how big is the market? What will be my cost? Everything, and revenue, how will I return? This thinking, just thinking, if we introduce in the academic minds, that will make huge change. Another thing which is available is knowledge transfer partnerships, or what we should have. And I have seen that you have many industrial projects. So what we do is we take the idea and we transfer that idea. So in here there is a scheme where company comes to you and says that this is the problem. Can you solve this problem for this? Do you have any technology for this? Do you have some innovative approach to do that? And if it is there, how will I embed this innovative approach or innovative technology into the company? For that, we need, so there is, we recruit an associate where 60% funding is given by the government, 40% by the company. We recruit the associate, and this associate learns the technology, understands the technology at the university, and his or her job is to go and implement it, embed it into the company for the company success. So there are different in the university level, when TTO, when we go, there are different technology or segments when we take from research to commercialization. I will show you with example rather than this. So here is an example of one of our innovations, which is Shield. Okay, all of us have prepared effervescent formulations or used effervescent formulations like Eno. What Eno contains? it may contain an active molecule, or does not contain any active molecule, but it contains basically an acid and an alkali. So acid is citric acid, alkali is sodium bicarbonate. Okay, so sodium bicarbonate and citric acid, when you bring them in contact with water, they react with each other and release CO2 and molecule of water. This is simple, very simple formulation, very cheap materials, citric acid and sodium bicarbonate. If I say, what is then problem in this? Why there is innovation required? So innovation is required because citric acid is highly hygroscopic in nature. Citric acid, when it comes in contact with the air, it takes moisture and undergoes liquid. It is deliquescent in nature. It undergoes forms liquid also. And as for example, in Mumbai, where humidity is high, and for overall India, this is a major challenge. High temperature, high humidity regions, or high temperature dry, but though it is a problematic thing. So citric acid, this is dynamic vapor sorption plots. What does it show? So here what we do is we take the material and subject it to different relative humidity, equilibrate it at different relative humidity, and what we have observed is as soon as 60 to 70% relative humidity is there, suddenly it starts taking moisture, and around 35% moisture it takes. Whereas sodium bicarbonate is not hygroscopic. Now these two mixed materials, when we mix them in the what is our regular or conventional humidity and temperature in under GMP is around 45 to 50% RH at 25 degrees Celsius. So when we mix the two at around 50% RH, you will see that the reaction takes place between acid and alkali, and the reaction releases molecule of water that further catalyzes the reaction. So once the reaction starts, once you have mixed the two ingredients, it is very difficult to keep them without reacting, and it is completely destabilizes. Now, how will I manufacture under GMP? No, under GMP conditions, you cannot manufacture that. So all effervescent formulations, when they are manufactured, one thing which you have to do is you have to bring down relative humidity of the area to around 10 to 15-20% RH at 20 degrees, 25 degrees Celsius. Now consider in India, consider in Mumbai, the humidity levels of Mumbai, Chennai, temperature in Chennai. You have to bring down temperature also, and you have to bring down humidity also. Very challenging and very expensive. Therefore, effervescent formulations are expensive to manufacture in India compared to the, for example, in the UK, though it is a island, humidity is high, but still temperatures are low. So only cost is to bring down the humidity. But in India, when you bring down the temperature, humidity increases, you have to bring down humidity as well as temperature. It is very expensive to handle it in India. So first thing, manufacturing becomes very expensive because you have to dehumidify your air. Dehumidifying air is, for example, here I have given you the data from literature. From 85% RH to 46% RH, it will cost you, suppose, $3. Same thing from, instead of 46, if you want 25% RH, the cost will be 4 times higher. So this is something dehumidification cost is. Secondly, when you work in dehumidified areas, such as low humidity conditions, consider workers, what will happen to the worker if somebody is exposed to low humidity for a long time. Next is you are preparing granules which are extremely dry. So compression of these granules is difficult. There is higher force will be required, higher wear and tear of punches will be there. So this is another problem. And then after that, you have to package it in a moisture resistant containers. You might have seen HDP tubes which are used for packaging. Large amount of plastic is used, and in the top of this there is silica gel. So in the cap, so this caps cannot be recycled. So much environmental issues have been created. So what we have done at university, we are very well equipped in crystal engineering. We prepare amorphous materials. Amorphous means where molecules are arranged haphazardly, whereas in crystals these are molecules are arranged in a repetitive manner fashion, in orderly fashion. It can be one crystal form or other crystal form, so what we all of us know as polymorph. Crystals can be single component crystal or they can be multi-component crystals. If it is a counter ion, we call it as a salt. If it is a solvent or water molecule, we call it as a solvate or hydrate. And if it is another molecule other than a molecular ion molecule, we call it as co-crystal, a co-former. Another molecule is called as a co-former. So that co-former plus your drug, if they sit together, this multi-component crystal is called as co-crystal. Now, how do they sit together? There is a hydrogen or halogen bond which is present in this. So this is just a very simple idea about. So this is your crystal of drug containing, suppose for example, ibuprofen. Okay, all ibuprofen molecules, and a co-former which is generally not active, but now there are actives also incorporated. So generally not active. For example, let us take example of nicotinamide. So ibuprofen and nicotinamide. Ibuprofen is water insoluble. Ibuprofen and nicotinamide form hydrogen bond. If I mix these two together in a particular way, they form a co-crystal, and these co-crystals are now have better water dissolution rate in water for ibuprofen compared to the ibuprofen itself. Sorry. Generally, co-crystals are prepared so as to mainly achieve increase in dissolution rate. Best example is carbamazepine and saccharin if you form co-crystal, and now there are n number of co-crystals available in this category. One co-crystal which has been approved by FDA as a co-crystal is valsartan sacubitril. Okay, this has been approved and it is on market now. But there are some discussion around this. Is it a co-crystal? Because it is at the same time sodium salt. So it is a salt. It contains 2.5 molecules of water of hydration. So is it a hydrate? That is questionable, but generally it has been categorized as co-crystal. Co-crystals can be used or can demonstrate improved tabletability. For example, paracetamol. All of us know that paracetamol is poorly compressible, but paracetamol co-crystal is easily compressible because it has a layered structure. No doubt there are issues that can include get suitable structure or not, suitable co-former or not. or it can improve stability, it can avoid hydrate formation. So from this, I'm going to take the same example of Upper Shield, and I'm going to explain you how step by step we move from different technology readiness level. So technology TRL, that is technology readiness level. So you should, an academic should ask question, what is the technology readiness level? Which technology readiness level I have reached now? Okay, so first is knowledge development. Just basic principles are observed and scientific problem is identified. So we have identified the scientific problem, which is issue of processing of effervescent product. I have taken, then we thought that can I make citric acid co-crystal and solve the problem? And we prepared citric acid nicotinamide co-crystal, and we have shown that citric acid, which was absorbing 35% moisture, now is absorbing only in presence of nicotinamide when presented as a nicotinamide co-crystal, it is not absorbing water. So what we did is we have taken the effervescent material, just conventional citric acid and nicotinamide, sodium bicarbonate we mixed, and we kept it in the moisture absorption isotherm we obtained. And what we observed, when moisture is between 40 to 50% RH, really less than 0.5% moisture is absorbed, but that much moisture is enough to start the reaction, and you can see loss of weight. So this is weight of the, it is a microbalance which is just continuously monitoring the weight. You can see the weight, there is weight loss. Why there is weight loss? Because CO2 is getting released. So this indicates that the effervescence reaction is taking place. So instead of citric acid, we replaced it with co-crystal, and what we observe that moisture uptake, there is no reduction in reduction in weight. So effervescent reaction has not taken place, and there is very small molecular weight. Sorry, not small, 5%, but it is at higher moisture content. So, and still the material is stable. Now technology or concept application has been formulated, and now we know now our concept of co-crystal will work. So I have achieved technology readiness level 2, then did some studies, and so this is standard effervescent formulation, whereas this is effervescent composition using co-crystal. It is not taking moisture, whereas this has taken moisture and liquefied in. Tablet has also been liquefied. Then immediately after this, what I did is, with help of IQR funding, one of my postdoc, PhD student, Azad. So Azad did some market. He received IQR funding. He did some good market research and developed the concept. So what is Upper Shield? So he did what is available on the market. So on the market, there are 2 technologies which are available to address the effervescent issue. So this star or whatever I have drawn, it is suppose your citric acid, and this is sodium bicarbonate. So there is one technology which is Upper Soda by Hermes, I think, or yeah, I'm getting that. So what they do is they generate a coat of sodium sesquicarbonate on the surface of sodium carbonate. Okay, so all these 2 technologies they work on the basis of particle barrier between sodium bicarbonate and citric acid. So now, if you go and buy ether soda contains 5% sodium sesquicarbonate on the surface of, or sodium carbonate in simple word, sodium carbonate on the surface of sodium bicarbonate. Sodium sesquicarbonate is less hygroscopic. Less hygroscopic, is less reactive compared to sodium bicarbonate, and then the reaction is reduced. Whereas Bayer came out with the technology which is topogranulation, which is similar to what we do in the lab, carry out some controlled granulation between controlled hydration reaction. So here, citric acid is coated with sodium citrate in topogranulation, and this lowers the rate of reaction between sodium carbonate and bicarbonate and citric acid. Though it is these particulate barriers are broad, still you need to do dehumidification. Still you need to pack your tablets in moisture-resistant containers. The only thing is it is little less stable compared to conventional effervescent tablets. But what happens in Effershield when you make citric acid and nicotinamide co-crystal like this? Now this co-crystal there is molecular barrier which has been brought in Effershield, which stops reaction with. And then we check the market. There is huge market, and market growth is significantly high. So we reached proof of concept level, and that is technology readiness level 3 is achieved. Generally, at the universities, technology readiness level 3 should be first achieved before we go for external funding. So you will see most of the fundings from AICTE or DST or here in EPSRC, we have a special board called as Innovate UK, basically, which is my main funding agency. They fund from technology readiness level 3 to 6 transfer. Take your technology from one level. And then we first filed patent when we knew that there is opportunity. And this patent was filed in 2014, 13 somewhere, I don't know. Yeah, and then it was granted in 2019. We demonstrated at laboratory environment. What we did is, this is company's formulation. If in 12 hours at 60% RH, what happened to this? And whereas Effershield remained stable for 30 days. In the relevant environment, this we did it in company, actual compression, everything in the company. So company environment, relevant environment studies we did at technology readiness 5, and we started commercial licensed out deal with the company. So now the technology has been licensed out. Now the question remains is, should we license it out or should we form a spin out? Generally, spin out is an option where you need multiple applications, broad sectors. So for example, if I can say that my innovation can be from agriculture to veterinary to nutraceutical, pharmaceuticals, and detergent industry, and I need to develop different products based. There will be modifications or changes in this or slight different innovations I will do on this. So as to achieve that, I will go for spin out model. But remember one thing: if you start a spin out, many times whenever spin out is started, the investors this is, I don't know why, but they try to reduce inventors' academics day-to-day interference or association in the company, because the general experience is academics try to take more academic approach rather than commercial, and that delays the so there are professional people who know about how to commercialize invention. They take over there, and whereas in licensing, also the same thing, we license it out. But if you license it out with the small company, there are chances that you will remain involved in this, or joint ventures with other commercial partners also is possible. While doing all these things, it is very good experience or learning for academics when you go from here when you engage with the businesses and engage in the commercial things, and we need to know the company. The company may be already, you know, the company in the sector, or your business development commercial team can find a company, identify them, engage with them. While engaging, don't never disclose anything without a proper CDA. Don't send samples without material transfer agreements. Do not, and don't think that I don't have IP, that means I don't have, I can disclose anything. No, you have know-how. You only know, or you have invested significant resources to understand about, for example, if I say that how to make certain types of tablets, I only know because I have invested in this 5 years, so that is my know-how. So that is also something which we need to protect. And to demonstrate it in at a commercial level. So what we did is when we started screening or preparing co-crystals, we were doing it in mortar and pestle, just 300 milligrams. Then we scaled it up to 200 milligrams in the lab, and now it is getting manufactured at around 400 kilograms per day in a commercial setup. So in summary, Effershield is a simple innovation, okay, to address this effervescent product challenges. What is it? It is a material innovation. That material, which is citric acid, which is hygroscopic, was giving the trouble. By preparing co-crystals, we made it non-hygroscopic, granular, easily compressible. That led to manufacturing innovation, because we are using now co-crystal. Now you don't need humidification. Carbon footprint has reduced significantly because of that. That has led to packaging innovation or impact. Due to that, now there is no recyclable. It has become recyclable. No desiccant is incorporated required. Plastic, now we have started in paper packaging, and there is a lot of flexibility in terms of packaging design which has been achieved. It is cross-sector impact from pharma, nutra, agrochemical, detergent, disinfectants, and different markets. And now it is at commercial level 8. It is almost ready to market launch. And you get lot, as an academic, you get lot of kudos, awards, and so this technology received BioNow, which is one of the prestigious awards in the UK. So BioNow Project of the Year award. KTP, when we transferred it to the businesses, company received was best of the best KTP Award, Knowledge Transfer Partnership Award for 90. We were finalists for that, and we received University Vice Chancellor Award also. So how to commercialize anything or to engage or translate anything? We can work with in different ways. It can be mechanism of engagement can be contract research for fee for service contract research. It can be collaborative. For many times you will get a company and company will say, yes, but I don't have enough funds to sponsor the project. There can be government money which can be obtained, but remember that it is taxpayers' money which we are using for company. So it should not be free for the company. There should be some return to the institution because it has not been funded fully. We do, but sometimes companies come and they say, yes, I can fund the research, but I want IP. If in that case, what you can do is cost the project, and after costing, you may say, I need 20% above this, so as to give away IP to you. And at the same time, being an academic institution, we need to remember other benefits such as employability skills, which we get to our students. Kudos to us, opportunity for publications, impact, everything. And to deliver that, you need a good business team of interdisciplinary academic team with you or research team with you, good team of project delivery resource, and strong innovation and commercialization team, business development, innovation and commercialization. Thank you. Thank you. If you have any questions, please let me.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir. It was really a very informative session. Instead, I will say that it was a guidance from an expert who is already working in this field. And it's an honor for me to, attend your session and summarize it, because Dr. Paradkar sir was my teacher in pharmaceutical engineering when I was studying in Pune College of Pharmacy. And sir's energetic lectures, I remember, informative lectures. We never used to understand when the time is past. And sir really used to share his real experiences, and that's what today I enjoyed your session, and I experienced the same thing that sir has told us, given us a very important message. Even Dr. Abdul Kalam has said that word fail is first attempt in learning, and he explained us about various failures and how to overcome them. And even he has talked about importance of the collaborative work, forming a team, getting the expertise, and very importantly, when you are trying to commercialize your product, lot of thinking, prior thinking is required to look to your project from the entire aspect of the utility, cost, and you have to actually put your management skills before that, before you start with actual research project. Like he has shared his research work, his results with us, and he has also shared that how local resources can be useful, how planning can be useful, how teamwork is useful, or what constraints can be there in getting grants, and how academics can tackle it. What are the different options available for the academics for commercialization of the product? And very importantly is that how you should look into the utility of the product, and whether it is really having that utility to move, then take the decision to move ahead, or where to take the decision of even stopping. So sir It was a really informative session, and I'm sure it has guided all the researchers. I'm really thankful to you. And now the session is open for question and answer. So if there are any questions, please take, or if anybody has raised hand, we will offer a mic to that person. I think Shravanti sir is want to ask. Yes, ma'am, the mic is unable to you. Shravanti ma'am? Shravanti TKM? You have raised your hand. You can unmute now. We have given you the option. By that time, Alifia, can you just see the questions? Yeah, there is a one question by Dr. Nitin Jain. How to approach to industry for research collaboration with academia? So the question is asked by Dr. Nitin Jain.
Okay. Thank you. This is really the first question which we everyone come across, that how to approach industry, how will I get. So the first and most important thing, broaden your network, attend conferences whenever. This is one aspect which we need to learn, how to interact, what should we speak and what we should not speak, but how to present yourself, your research at proper forums. You can use different channels. You yourself can interact with industry. There may be, it can be through any of your friends, ex-students, approach the company. Because remember one thing, how much I can go and spread word about me, my research. Who are the best people to spread word about? Are our alumni, our students, maybe your ex-PhD students. They will go and say, oh, this can be done in our lab, or my supervisor is doing this work. So all channels we need to explore. Present, many times what we do is we focus too much on academic conferences and neglect business conferences. Go and attend sometime business conferences also. That changes your view, how to look at them, and broadens your network. Be part of business networks. That will give opportunity. And if you have a business development manager at the university or in the school, nothing like that, they can spread. Another most important thing is your website. On the website, this is the most important way now to connect. On the college website, really, we need to highlight our achievements in terms of our research and present your, as soon as you have patent. Another thing is social media. Social media, we need to use it to connect. LinkedIn is the best way to connect with people. I have seen most of our business. So here at Bradford, around 80% of my business comes through website, or 50% comes through website, 50% through actual business. And once you develop the link, and I don't think any institution in now is global, so you may receive inquiry from US, it can be from Europe, anywhere. Once your technology, and this is something surprising. When I published paper in on curcumin, I was shocked that somebody in Japan has seen it, and they have approached it. So no doubt I made a mistake in publishing it early, but at the same time, you now, and this is 2003 when internet was not that accessible to everybody, or I don't know whether I did anything on internet that time. So you can have different ways. And I'm thinking another thing, if there is any organization that definitely in next 5 years, what will come up in India is some agencies where you can go and pitch your technology to them and they will bring in suitable partners to you for collaboration.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you for your guidance. There are a lot of comments on the chat box that it is very informative, knowledgeable session. They have understood it was very informative and lot of bridging ideas between academic and industry. They have got an idea about it was motivational, and how they have got idea about how to systematically approach for the process of commercialization of the research. Nice session, excellent talk. Thank you, sir. So there are a lot of comments which are there in the chat box. There is one question by Bhushan Wak, sir, that how to identify the project or the patents which have commercial approach.
Okay, so the first thing, Dr. Bhushan, what you have asked, very nice question, and these are the typical questions which academics, and I have gone through these so many times and still going through. Now, first thing, there cannot be a patent which has no commercial value. So don't think about any patent which has, and this is the mistake which we make, that we patent when there is no commercial. If there is no commercial value, don't go for patent. So the first thing which we need to remember is, before we patent, write a business. I will say write a business case. Suppose if I am your commercial person, I will say, you will come to me and say, yes, I have developed this new molecule, I have developed this new extract, I have developed this new tablet. Okay, tell me. I will share how we can approach. So I will say, tell me what problem you have solved. Is there really commercial problem? Is there a big market available for this? Where, because remember one thing, patenting is very expensive process. You first go to priority filing, PCT, or directly you may go for PCT, but PCT to national filing, when it goes, it becomes very expensive and it is time consuming. Universities generally cannot patent everything. I did not present here my failure in patent also. So the first patent which I filed here was around making co-crystals using hot melt extrusion. That was in 2011 itself, yeah, 2010-11 sometime. As universities spend around 100,000 pounds, means 1 crore rupees on this patent, maintaining it for around 6 years. We failed to get the patent. We found that there are challenges in maintaining that process patent, and at the end we have to abandon the patent. Again, this is exactly what you asked. I made, and then I realized I patented something which I should not have patented. I should have kept it as a know-how rather than I should not have even published. This is very common thing which is coming up now, and especially for example, consider a small company, and that small company cannot patent it, cannot bear the cost of patents. Market may not be that big, but still there is some innovation. It can bring enough profits. Best example is Vico turmeric. Picoturmeric, is it patented? I don't think so, but it is a know-how. So know-how is one thing which is becoming very common, and many companies, because one of the drawback of patent is you are disclosing the things. Today, I disclosed by patenting how to make curcumin soluble, and there may be somebody who is, and there is not maybe, there are many people who are more clever than you, or they have good experience, they have different type of experience, they have better understanding of chemistry. They will definitely go for the next change, which you made it possible quickly by disseminating knowledge at early stage. There is risk that if you don't patent it, you may lose. And why in academics we need a patent? Because confidentiality is a major issue in academics. We are working in labs, open labs. Our main ethos is not protection. Our open science is our main objective, and students pass out. It may be your MPharm student, it may be your PhD student. They pass out. That if it is not protected, it goes out with them. So it is challenging. We need a patent, but when only it is required. So the best thing is make a business case. Ask yourself question: is it really worth patenting? Is there market for this? Spend 2 months, I will say, only on this question, and then only patent it.
Okay, thank you, sir. There is Dr. Rajeshri Hirlekar from Vivekananda Institute of Pharmacy who has raised the hand. Yeah, ma'am, the mic is offered to you. Dr.
So
Rajeshri
much.
Hirlekar.
Yes, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Thank
you so.
Video also. Video is also offered.
Okay. So it is not getting switched on anyways. Yeah. Yes, thank you so much, Mridal madam, for giving me this opportunity. At the outset, thanks to KMK for arranging this FDP. And as usual, it is really enjoyment to attend Paradkar sir's lecture. So it was a very nice and informative lecture, sir. A basic doubt I had was we call a concept called hydrotrophy, wherein we use excess of some other chemical for solubilizing a drug. So the concept of hydrotrophy and co-crystallization, it is similar or it differs? Like,
okay, in this it is first by definition. So for co-crystal, there should be a co-former. It has to have hydrogen bond, and it has to be, the co-former has to be solid, and the crystal, the product is also solid. Okay, so no non-covalent bonding, which is similar in case of your hydrotrophy, but it is in solution and it can be a solvent, it can be a solid, anything, a solution, anything. But here, in case of co-crystals, it is a solid, two solid. So these are molecular. It is like a salt. In case of salt, if you see the guidelines for co-crystal, it is a multi-component crystalline entity, which is not required in hydrotrophy. And co-crystal can be, for example, there can be insoluble co-crystals also. I will give you an example. In animal feed, in dog's feed, nutritional supplement, nitrogen determines the cost of the supplement. Higher is the nitrogen content, higher is the cost. And what happened is the Chinese companies, they incorporated cyanuric acid in that, which contained high amount of nitrogen, and it is water soluble. And what happened is cyanuric acid after some time, it was observed that kidney damage was observed in dogs, and everybody was surprised why this is forming, giving a problem. And the cyanuric acid co-crystal which was getting formed was insoluble, and that was damaging crystals. So co-crystals does not mean that it will always increase solubility. It can decrease solubility also. It can make it, you can make it not only for solubility, it can be for making something stable, converting something into compressible form by changing mechanical properties of the material. That is something which is co-crystal.
Thank you so much, sir. It is more or less like our cyclodextrin. Some of them are used for increasing the solubility, some of them for retarding the release. Yes, yes. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Nice to see you.
Sir, can I ask you one question?
Yeah, please, madam.
Sir, you said that institute must have a technology transfer policy. Can you guide us?
Okay.
You will
So,
be able to.
Yeah. So this is
audible, huh?
Yes, sir. Technology transfer details.
Yes. Yeah, I got it. Thank you. Thanks. This is another thing which I have realized. Again, it is difficult. It is easy for me to say that everybody should have technology or transfer office or transfer. So, and for this, there may be as a university as a whole, and here also we don't have technology transfer office in the on my own. It is for the university. So you should have an expert in patent. Not necessary he has to be a patent attorney or something, because these patent people will be expensive to recruit, but you should have a legal department or legal expert. And these, if you are a small institute, you don't need to establish your permanent staff. It can be a consultant, it can be a contract, you can give it outside. A legal person is essential because it requires a lot of contractual transactions are there. CDAs, NDAs, and then actual contract you have to implement. You have to be very careful when you are doing contracts with the companies, because one clause can make huge difference to your outcomes. So this becomes about legal team. Second is commercialization team, the people who have experience in commercialization. Such people need to be on your board. Maybe you can contract again these people, appoint them as consultants. If institute does not have funds to or enough innovation, this is another thing. To recruit somebody on permanent basis, you need that much work, innovations, those many innovations, patents coming out from the institute, which generally becomes little challenging for small institutes or small universities. But I expect Bombay University to do that. But our problem is when we do it at national level or at a broad, very big level, so it becomes little challenging. Confidentiality becomes little challenging. Regulations around confidentiality are not that stronger many times, and integrity. For example, I may disclose it. There is contractual issue, expectation, but if somebody does disclose it, do I have a mechanism to monitor that? Do I have mechanism, and do I have mechanism maybe there? Do we have enough resources to follow up that? These are the issues which academic institutions will always face. For example, even now, for example, a Farshil patent I have done, somebody in China or somewhere in other country have used it. As a university, I can't do much. I do not have capacity. I cannot go and first thing find it, challenge it, to go to the court. Do I have that much resources available at the university? No, universities do not have that. So in infringement litigations or anything we cannot do. So really, I will suggest one thing. The first step, what you should do is bring in mechanism to understand whether I'm really doing patents, right patents or not. And second thing, how can I translate those patents? So to do that, you need somebody who will, whom you can submit your applications, and they will ask you like important questions, required questions to and advise you that whether there is patentability. Patent should be filed. Patentability may be there, but commercialization point of view, is it worth or not? And then where to sell it, how to sell it.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for it. Sir, one more doubt I have. Sir, I know I always sign a CDA, but what is material transfer agreement, which I never. Okay,
material transfer agreement. For example, you have prepared one extract, okay, and generally what happens is you will speak with the company. Company will say, "Oh, okay, interesting. Can you send me the sample? I will check whether it works or not." And you will send me the sample. I will do reverse engineering on that. I will try to understand what you have done. And then, or I can use it in some other formulations, applications, or you have done for plant A, I will use it for plant B. So you need to prepare a legal documents telling that if you cannot do any reverse engineering on my product. You cannot test that. I'm giving you to test this in just solubility, suppose, or dissolution, or test aesthetic properties of that. Apart from that, if you do anything, you are in legal trouble. So material transfer. And this is most important. Here, many times we fail. You give that material to somebody and they reverse engineer it.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Even to your collaborator, for example, I will send sample to use for pharmacokinetics, suppose, even academics, okay? You will say, okay, I will do pharmacokinetics for you, okay? I will send you the sample, but I should get you in writing that apart from pharmacokinetics, apart from this, you will not do anything other than this. You will anything, whatever you are going to do, you have to report me back. All results should be disclosed to me and me only, and not anywhere else. You may not go and present it anywhere. You cannot disclose to your friends and colleagues that what is my research. You should not reverse engineer. You should not analyze my product. I will give you some. So these type of things, and these are very important aspects.
Okay, sir. Thank you. There is Dr. Vrish Dwaj. Mic is offered to you, sir. You can ask the question. Dr. Vrish.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Ma'am, may I know what is the procedure of commercialization of bioactive research molecule?
Okay, really process of commercialization can vary For example, you have a bioactive molecule. Now, whether you are going to license it out, whether you are going to generally, if you have developed a molecule and you think that, okay, my molecule has excellent CNS activity, try to estimate what is the journey which this molecule has to do before it is commercialized, before it reaches to the market. How much risk you are asking? For example, if you go to a company and say that, oh, I have a molecule which is bioactive and it is 10 times active than the current molecule, still from that point to the final commercial market, it is going to be very expensive process for them, and therefore the higher is the risk, less will be your return. So how much de-risk you can make, try to make it as go up to animal studies, go up to maybe pre-formulation data ready, make a dossier as strong as possible. So before you go to the company to license out, find out exactly who will be, which companies are in that sector, will they be interested in that type of molecule. That will be the case.
Anything is postponed, I'll let you know.
Vrish, Dr. Vrish, is it something which you are intending to ask? Have I answered it correctly?
Yes, sir, because I have separated bioactive molecule through column chromatography. It is single bioactive molecule.
Yeah.
And it has nootropic activity.
Yeah.
Nootropic is the means memory enhancing activity.
Yeah. Yeah. So I can see that this is another difference between in the innovations which we need to remember, how close to market you are. Okay. Now I will suggest, and this is where the problem comes. Imagine that today you have a memory enhancing activity molecule, and we are saying that let us patent it. Okay. So if I patent it today in 2021, how many years will it require to reach to the market? Even if everything goes smoothly, it is going to take 10 years from today. If we get all the investments in as we expect, everything going, which doesn't go really, high risk, and 10 to 12 years of your patent life, and if patent is granted, is lost anyway. So I will suggest, and that is where the advantage of having interdisciplinary group. So suppose you have a pharmaceutics person, a chemistry person, all your colleagues, you sit together and we decide that, okay, this is extremely important molecule, and all of us, I'm going to do physicochemical properties estimation, I'm going to do tableting or formulation part of that, I'm going to do pharmacology of that. Then one institute, you work like a company. If that culture we need to develop. And it may not be in the same institute, it may be across the institutes also. But do not disclose it till it is near to market. Do not take any decisions. Today it is too risky. If you come to go to somebody, they will say it is too risky for me to invest.
Okay, I have one issue, ma'am, from organizer, that I am not able to put my attendance. Attendance of day one.
Garge wants to ask the question. The mic is offered to you.
Mrinal, if you can ask them to tell about their institute also, from where they are.
Yeah, sure. Miss Vaibhavi Garge, the mic is offered to you.
Thank you, madam.
Yeah, please mention your institute name also.
Yeah, sure. First of all, I would like to thank sincerely Team KMK for organizing such a wonderful scientific session program. And secondly, thanks a lot to you also, sir. It was really a enriched session altogether. Many things were really new to me. And my question is, actually, I was fascinated, first of all, to see in your last few slides that universities abroad, particularly Bradford, has a first of all concept of appointing a proper professional team for the research commercialization, which unfortunately I think most of the Indian universities do not have such a concept. So my question is, can you elaborate on the exact role of commercial manager for the business development of research innovations?
Okay, thank you. Dr. Garge, you are from which institute?
Sorry, sir. I work as an assistant professor in pharmacology, Bharatiya Vidyapit College of Pharmacy, Navi Mumbai.
Oh, Mumbai. Okay. Okay. Why I asked institute this, just to get some context to answer. So, for example, consider that Bharatiya Vidyapit Mumbai, but can Bharatiya Vidyapit as a whole can have a commercialization team? What will happen? Suppose somebody in Bharatiya Vidyapit Bhavan Pune is sitting with commercialization activity. We have such a big organization, team of academics and every strong research background. So you will have some innovation. You will think that I have developed one new molecule. I have developed new. I have found one interesting extract or way of extraction, which the extract prepared by that way, maybe supercritical extract, and that gives significantly different activities which others cannot get. Now, the role of the commercialization team is first to understand your research and to find out whether there is really any commercial value. Remember one thing, we as an academic, we do not understand the commercial value to the same level. I cannot tell that, oh, wow, fantastic, there is market or not. So now I can, but not at that time. So these people, they do patent search, market research, and they will come back to you and say, excellent, this here is the market is so big, there is gap in the market, they need these type of products, but these are our competitors. Let us discuss what is advantage over the competitors. Can you, or if it is not, can you develop a product which will overcome the challenge of the competing molecule? This is job of the commercial team. The commercial team, at the end, work has to be done by you, but they will ask you the questions. They will give you the feedback, and then their job is to, whenever you are going to meet external agency or external company, you will first, many times I take my commercial manager with me. I don't speak anything. I don't speak a single word in terms of finances. I don't speak single word in terms of contractual issues, because that is not my field. And many times as academics, it is difficult and we are very hesitant to speak. For example, if you go to company and you have to ask, okay, if you want me to do this work, I need 50,000 rupees or 5 lakh rupees. You will be very hesitant to ask that. Your commercial manager will do that in a systematic way. I work with many Indian companies also, and it is very good culture we have. And I think for that you need a commercial team. It may be at your college level, Mumbai level, or it may be as an institute as a whole, management level, but that is essential. That is their job.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your expert guidance and for addressing our queries. This brings us to the end of the first session for the day. We would be delighted to receive feedback for the same from our attendees via a Google form link that has been sent to you in the chat and via email. I request the attendees to kindly fill the form at the earliest. Responses will be kept open till 8 p.m. With this, we proceed for a short lunch break. The second session will commence at 1:30 p.m. sharp. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Really interactive session. I hope to so many more like this in future.
Oh, sure. And anybody, if you have any doubts, you can send me email. I'm active on Facebook, Twitter, or LinkedIn. Follow me anywhere. Ask me questions there. And if you have anything you want me to give any lecture over weekends, generally I'm comfortable anywhere. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Now, okay. Feedback link will come at the end of the day, and attendance link will be shared in the chat box for post-lunch session. And those who are attending right from the beginning will have an access. Those who are joining after posting the link may not have an access. So please be attentive in the whole session. Thank you and see you after the lunch at 1:30.